Ever since I was a little bitty baby fishing and stuff, I wanted a workshop. Well, in 2017, I refinanced my house and I built it. Little did I know it was going to become a YouTube studio. But it did. And working a full-time job every week and doing YouTube on the weekends, my shop tends to get a little bit dirty. So I'm cleaning out the top of my toolbox. If you've watched my videos, hey guys, fishing. My toolbox is always a mess. So what I'm gonna do is clean this out and use it for something different. You've seen the mess I have in my building. I got way too much YouTube junk laying around and I gotta make some changes. This shelf over here in my building has become a catch-all for everything. So I bought a bunch of storage totes and I'm gonna try to organize all this stuff. Clean this shelf off, make it usable again. For the last couple of years, people keep asking for a shop tour. So instead, I'm gonna show y'all some organization hacks that'll help you in your shop. But like I said, we gotta clean up first. That looks a whole lot better, let me tell you.
It's about time you cleaned up this building.
Shop organization hack number 1. Before I had my shop built, I had a pretty nice table saw because I really liked woodworking. When I built this shop, the first thing I did was sell that table saw. And I bought one of these fold-up table saws. I like it because you can roll it out of the way. You can use it anywhere you want. It folds right up and it folds back into like a hand truck shape. But to me, stuff like this is space savers. I mean, I got 2 saws right there that I can use anywhere, anytime I want to, but they don't take up much room. This saw's a 10-inch sliding miter saw, by the way. I've had for a long time. This one's a 10-inch rigid table saw. Organization hack number 2. Just like they make portable power tools that you can move around and use, you can also make your power tools portable by adding a base to them. Nothing sponsored in this video, by the way. This Powermatic bandsaw right here, it's a really good bandsaw, and they make a base for this bandsaw. But the base that they make for this bandsaw is pretty dang expensive. Then one day I was surfing Amazon and I found this. What this is a ShopFox base. ShopFox is another brand and their tools tend to be a little bit cheaper than Powermatic. But I like my Powermatic bandsaw. But I took a ShopFox base that would not fit this bandsaw and I cut it down a little bit when I was putting it together and I made it fit my bandsaw. And actually it's pretty dang cool. And as you can see, it sets really close to the floor. It's got a little stop here and it's got a little stop here. When you lock those 2 stops down, it won't let it roll around while you're using it. And this thing sits so close to the floor, it feels like it's not even on a movable base. And that right there is awesome. Organization hack number 3. I use this drill press a lot on videos. And if you watch my videos, you probably seen me use this drill press on it. And it's a decent brand of drill press, but it's not industrial made by any means. By the way, this light here is just an extra light because on YouTube, you always need extra light. See how dark that is? Now we got some light. That's just a YouTube thing, but it's actually kind of handy too. Anyway, I bought this drill press because I needed one, of course, but the thing I did when I bought this drill press for organization, I wanted a floor model drill press. They are, however, a little bit higher. What I did was decide to buy a bench model drill press, and I took the extra money I had and bought a toolbox to mount it on. I actually bolted through the toolbox and mounted this thing on there, and it ain't going nowhere. The reason I done that was because now I can use the toolbox to put my drill bits and different stuff for the drill press in. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's just an idea. I mean, a drill press mounted on a toolbox. I like toolboxes. They're very handy for organization. By the way, I took the wheels off this toolbox and I made some little legs for it. It keeps it from sitting on the floor, but it keeps it really close to the floor as well. Because this table's at the perfect height, and when the wheels was on it, it was about this much higher. So I took the wheels off of it and I fixed that. People's always saying I never go fishing. I do go fishing.
Hey, look at this beauty.
Fishing's fishing, ain't it? Actually, I went fishing with some of my friends last night. Getting ready to go fishing. Bring the hot dogs.
No, sir, I did not.
You had one job. In the back seat. I gotta do everything. Dang gummit. This thing caught a fish.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a little bitty fish, Les.
That's decent, though.
Oh, he's pissed. He fell off. David for the win. That's your new PB?
Yep.
Dang.
You gotta open it up and
Don't let that fish whip you.
don't mash the button again. Oh, he's damn poking his eyeball out.
You the man. You are dang gum
All right, throw him in
man.
there.
Throw him in the dang gum cooler. We keeping him. Hack number 4. This is pretty much the most used piece of equipment in my shop. I'm not talking about that saw. I'm talking about my weld table. If you watch my videos, I use this weld table on just about every video. I built it because I needed a weld table. But little did I know it would become my favorite piece of equipment. I mean, the top don't have paint on it, so you can't knock the paint off. You can take a sledgehammer and can't hurt this thing. I mean, mine's only a 1/4 inch thick, but I use bulldozer plate, which is hardened steel, and it works really good. I incorporated a toolbox into this weld table so that when I'm working, I got access to about anything I need, like my tape measures, levels, squares. This is basically all my measuring tools. Then I got an electrical drawer, which is basically everything I need for electrical. This is a little bit of everything. Bottom drawer is for like tape, glues, any kind of adhesive I keep in here. Keep my cold cut saw on the side of my weld table, which I do need to talk about. And on the back, I got a bar that I keep clamps on. And of course, I got wheels on this thing because I like to be able to move everything. I've probably got about $100 worth of steel into this table. And I got this toolbox for around $100 at Home Depot. That's why you always see me with Husky toolboxes, because they have the best sales. This is an Evolution saw with an Evolution blade. And the reason I need to talk about it is everybody's always asking questions about this saw. And everybody's favorite question is, what kind of blade am I using on my miter saw? To which I respond, this ain't no miter saw. Don't buy one of these blades and stick it on your miter saw. This is a cold cut saw. This right here is a miter saw. This is made for wood. This saw right here is made for steel. And there is a difference. This saw is called a 14-inch rage saw. And it runs at a lower RPM than a miter saw. A miter saw turns too fast to cut steel. So if you want one like this, get you a cold cut saw. That's the name of it. Cold cut saw. You see what I'm saying? This is a fiber disc wax saw. It basically does the same thing that a cold cut saw does, but it shoots a lot more sparks. I still use this thing a lot. When I got something small to cut and I don't want to pull the big one out, I'll use this little saw. And if any of you guys are trying to save money, this is a great little saw. I don't know what they cost now, but I've had this thing for years and I'm pretty sure I spent like $25 on it. But like I said, I've had this thing for years. It's really small, but it's affordable and it's really handy. Number 5. Me personally, I like to weld, and I like to do a lot of DIYs that involve welding. When I first had this shop built and I got this welder, I used flux core wire, which means you don't need a shielding gas to weld. Well, when I got tired of cleaning my welds all the time, I went to regular wire. But to go to regular wire, you need a tank, and this is 2575. Actually, going to gas is probably one of the best things you can do for your welder. But building a weld cart is also something great you can do for your welder. So I bought this toolbox. I also bought it at Home Depot, and I took the wheels off of it. I built this cart and re-welded the wheels back onto it. And it actually makes a pretty cool weld cart. And I got a video about it if you want to watch it. The reason I use the toolbox is because I've got places to put stuff, like tips and nozzles, even some wire brushes. I got magnets for welding. I got lots of flap discs and stuff like that. I keep my newer gloves in this drawer. And I got extra weld wire. These are all 1-pound spools, but honestly, I've got to where I like the bigger spools because I don't have to change them as much. I try to keep a lot of grinders on hand. I buy different kinds and try them. The reason I like different kinds is I can put a flap disc on one, I can put a wire brush on another one, and I can have a cutoff wheel on one. By having multiple grinders, that way I don't have to change the ends as much. And finally, I got my helmets and my weld coats in the bottom. Hack number 6. I keep all my long clamps over here just in case I'm making something and I need a long pop clamp. Clamps are something that come in really handy, and the way I got them mounted is I just got a piece of angle iron. I welded a piece onto the end of it, and I bolted up here, and I bolted it over here. Number 7. This DIY I made right here is one of my favorites. I took a portable bandsaw and I made it into a horizontal bandsaw, kinda like my Powermatic. All I did was get a piece of steel and I made a table, and I got a whole video about it if you're interested. This little saw comes in really handy for cutting small pieces of steel. And I know the saw ain't an organization hack. The organization hack is how I mounted it, because it's pretty dang cool. I just took a receiver and I welded it onto my weld table, and then you can get hitches and you can mount tools to your hitches like this saw. I mean, you could put your vise on it, a pipe bender, anything you wanted, and you can just switch them out. This thing's pretty cool, and it is a space saver. Number 8. As you can tell by this video already, I think that Toolboxes is one of the best organization tools there is. And you probably never see this toolbox on my videos. Keep my battery chargers over here. These are for my DeWalt's. This one here is for my camera. That way I can be charging an extra battery while I'm filming. You know, when I'm filming, you know what I'm saying? I keep my batteries over here. I keep screws and nails in this. I keep some of my extra tools in here and drop cords and stuff like that. I keep shop towels over here, nail guns, you know, stuff like that. This right here is the toolbox everybody sees every video. It's not organized perfectly, but I'm working on it. I've been working on it for years. This one's kind of, I keep hammers in this drawer and safety glasses, because you know how I feel about PPE.
Always wear your PPE.
This drawer is kind of a YouTube catch-all drawer. If you look hard enough, you'll probably notice a lot of this stuff off of videos, like the lead lure I poured, or the balsa wood float, even the step bit pyramid weight. I'm just saying, this is just basically a YouTube drawer. Now this drawer is full of pliers and cutters and everything else. And these things right here are great for organization. These have a magnet in them, but you can buy them without the magnet if you want to. And before I got this, all my pliers were just through in here and I couldn't find nothing. Now, as you can see, it's a lot easier to find what you're looking for. I keep my sockets in this drawer. I like these little Harbor Freight socket trays because they're about the cheapest one out there, and they really keep your sockets from getting all mixed up. These are my wrenches. You can buy these big wrench holders. I think I got them off of Amazon, and they hold like really big sets of wrenches. And they're pretty cool because they keep everything organized. You can also buy these screwdriver magnets. You put your screwdriver in it and it kind of holds them in place. It's not the best organizer in the world, but I gotta say it does work. This drawer here, it's just a mess. It's where I throw extra stuff. This drawer, I keep extensions, things like that. These little holders that they're in, you can get those at Harbor Freight too, really cheap. And I do try to get the cheap stuff because I ain't no paid mechanic. I'm just a half-grade YouTuber. Got some wrenches, and I got some more socket wrenches. That right there is some of that foam rubber that you get from Harbor Freight that you put on your floor. It's pretty cheap, and you can take a utility knife and cut it out to fit your wrenches. And I mean, it works okay. It's better than nothing. And I like these little shelves you can get and stick on your toolbox because you can put all kinds of stuff in them. This is my Bluetooth speaker, which I listen to most of the time when I'm doing DIYs and filming videos. Works pretty dang good, actually. Just Bluetooth the thing to your phone if you want to listen to some music. This speaker actually works really good, but the reason I use a Bluetooth speaker in my building is because I can hook it to my phone, listen to a podcast, I can listen to live streams, I can listen to music. But the real reason I like this is because I can put this on my boat and take it fishing with me. And yes, I do go fishing. And there's something else I want to talk about. This is not a bragging thing. This is something that you guys did, so I want to share it with you. The first thing is I got a silver play button for 100,000 subscribers, and that's because you guys went and watched my videos and you subscribed, and I really appreciate it. That's why I put the Toolbox, because it's only because of y'all that I got this. The second thing is there's a YouTube channel on YouTube called Palmetto. He's been doing an award show for the last 2 years, and all the awards are for YouTubers. Well, in 2020, I won 4 awards. I won Best Educational Channel of the Year. I won Editor of the Year. I also won Best Sound Design. And every year he has a Creator of the Year, and I won it the first year. That's kind of the big trophy, and I'm proud of that.
You won because of me.
Yes, you're probably right. It probably was because of you. Well, this past year in 2021, I won 4 more awards. I won Video of the Year. After all this time fishing with Chris, do you think you'll ever make a, good fisherman out of him?
No.
No. So you do it all.
I do it all.
Catfish. I also won Innovator of the Year. Also won Best Sound Design again. But the most awesome part is I won Creator of the Year the second year too, and that is awesome. But I only won these awards because of you guys, because over 100,000 y'all subscribed to my channel, so that's because of you, and because y'all voted for me to win this stuff, or I wouldn't have won it. So I appreciate it, and I want you to go over and check out Kevin's channel. I'll leave the link to the Golden Whisker Awards, and you can go over there and watch it. This award right here was from the first YouTuber catfish tournament that Patriot James put on back in 2019. Me and my buddy David Buff come in second place. You know. This is my PVC rod rack that I made a couple of years ago. As you can see, I still use it. This is the rod rack I just built a couple months ago with my awesome Abu reels and my super awesome Hellcats. Here's the bucket from the first bucket hack video. I'm working on another bucket hack video right now that I hope is going to be even better. And of course, my aquariums, I do a lot of experimenting with these aquariums. You saw where I was cleaning my shelf up, and it turned out pretty good. Got almost everything organized. But what I'm doing is putting them in storage totes, and I'm writing the names on them. This is YouTube projects. This, sandpaper, this, belts. And you see it's got sandpaper, this, and belts in it. Here's a little tip. These discs right here, they're pretty much the same thing that comes from Harbor Freight. They're made in China. They're cheap. But the ones at Harbor Freight are $4 a piece. I buy these in bulk off of Amazon, and I get them for around $1 a piece. That's a pretty good tip right there. This is my heat press stuff. I had a video on using a heat press. I think it was the PVC knife sheath I did. Power tools, small fishing gear, tools not used much. Got some leftover PVC in this one from videos. This is my lead pot and my sinker molds. Spray paint. More YouTube stuff.
You a dang hoarder.
Get your tail in this drawer. I'm gonna have to fire him. If you like hacks, if you like DIYs, if you like cool stuff like that, go over and check out my channel page, because I got a lot of videos that you are going to like. And if you do find something you like, click subscribe and ring the bell. That way when I post a new video, YouTube will tell you and you can watch it. And from now on, I took all costs of subscribing off my channel. It's totally free to subscribe to my channel.
Nobody paid to watch you anyhow.
And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next build. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?